Hey guys, today's video is about, not accepting emotional abuse, not accepting physical abuse, but primarily today's video is about emotional and verbal abuse. In my personal opinion, the reason why adults put up with emotional abuse is because, as children, they were most likely emotionally abused. I'm going to go into like a little case study in today's video. Um, I'm not going to mention any names, but I'm going to give you a case study of something that's been going on that I know about. Um, anyway, verbal abuse, emotional abuse is words or behaviors used to manipulate, intimidate, to maintain power and control over the victim. Insults, humiliation, ridicule, the silent treatment, and attempts to scare or isolate or control the victim. Um, Again, like I said, in my personal opinion, I believe emotional abuse is caused most likely by people's upbringing. They had a abusive father, an abusive mother, abusive family member, being abused as a child. They were the child that was being told to shut up. They were the child being told, you know, insults, things like that. Like you're never going to end up being anything. This can severely lower the adult self esteem. And the reason why the adult puts up with the emotional abuse is because they have a low self esteem. They indeed have a very low self esteem. That's why they allow themselves to be physically abused. That's why they allow themselves to be verbally abused, because maybe when they were a little kid, dad used to smack them around. So now as an adult, getting smacked around doesn't really feel too foreign to them. Maybe as a child, they were being constantly emotionally abused. Like I know an adult that was constantly emotionally abused by her father. For about 20 years, she was emotionally abused by her father. I mean, the father would cross boundaries. Um, things he would say things that a father never should say. But yeah, he was always saying, fuck you, you're a bitch, blah blah blah. Being very insulting and degrading to his. It was actually his daughter that he was being very verbally abusive to her for about 20 years over the phone and in person, being verbally abusive. And the reason why this person hung on to this person is because the perpetrator had threatened suicide, had threatened to kill himself, said, if I don't have you kids, I'm going to kill myself. And so this person felt personally responsible for keeping this man alive. But he was incredibly physically abusive. He was incredibly verbally abusive. He was actually a piece of shit. Let's call a spade a spade. He was a physical abuser. He was an emotional abuser. He was a piece of shit. That's the God's honest truth. He didn't deserve to live. In my personal opinion, people that physically harm women, I don't believe you even deserve to live, because you're rotten. That's rotten. Beating up a woman is rotten. Emotionally abusing a woman is rotten. My cat's been freaking out. I don't know why. She wants to tell me something, but I'm going to keep going on to the video. I'll be right with you, baby. Cutie. Anyway, so you're going to see, those insults, the humiliation, the ridicule, the silent treatments. Silent treatment often used when they're upset. If you're not doing exactly what the perpetrator wants, they're going to give you the silent treatment. That's all manipulation to try to rein you back into control. Humiliation, putting you down, throwing things in your face. Why should you have this job? Because, look at your past. That's emotional abuse. That's verbal abuse. See, the problem with people that get emotionally abused is they end up lashing out at others. Hurt people hurt others. That's what I actually heard from a family member. Hurt people hurt others. So if you've been hurt as a child, you're more likely to be a perpetrator. You're more likely to hurt other people. Hurt people hurt others. Like in this case, this person had been emotionally and verbally abused by their father for 20 years, because he had threatened suicide. He said, I'm going to kill myself if I don't have you kids. And so this person felt directly responsible for keeping this person happy. Um, I'll give you a quick example of an actual text message that this person got as an adult. Um, this is her actual boyfriend's text message. Um, it was in regard to her visiting him. These people have been sexually active for a couple years, or like, partners sexually active. So this guy was trying to get this person to come over and have sex with them. His message to her. This is his message to her as an adult. You said today, no thanks, goodbye. You don't tell me something and then not do it. I'm done with that. And you wonder why I treat you like shit. Fuck off. This is a girl that he's been sexually active with for 3 years, basically his girlfriend. And he's basically that message. You said today, no thanks, goodbye. You don't tell me something, then not do it. I'm done with that. And you wonder why I treat you like shit. Fuck off. This is a person he calls his girlfriend. This is the person that he's having sexual intercourse with. If I saw this person live in person, I'd probably punch them in their fucking face, because I hate women abusers. I hate emotional abusers. I hate physical abusers. Can't stand them. So anyway, guys, do you see how he's talking to his girlfriend? That's his girlfriend he's been having sex with for 3 years. The guy that wrote that message is a piece of shit. I don't even understand why this person is involved with him. He's blatantly abusing her, blatantly emotionally abusing her, and this person's putting up with it. Why are they putting up with it? Because they were emotionally abused by their father for 20 years. And so now they have somewhat of a trauma bond going on, where this person's starting to see this person as a father figure. Their father passed away. So what she's doing is she's substituting, the old father was severely verbally abusive to her his whole life. And so now that the father is dead, she's having a trauma bond with this new boyfriend, basically making the boyfriend her new father figure because she misses her dad. And, abuse feels like love, because, dad used to say he loves me, but he was emotionally abusing me. So do you see how the person's excusing the emotional abuse because they think it's normal, because it's what they're used to? He's telling her, that's why I treat you like shit. I'd like to punch this guy in his fucking face. You wonder why I treat you like shit. Why the fuck is this person involved with this person? Why would you be involved with someone that says that to you? And you wonder why I treat you like shit. Why would you want to be treated like shit? My advice to you women is, if men talk to you like this, you kick them to the fucking curb. You end the relationship, because it is pure abuse. It's 100% emotional abuse, 100% verbal abuse. But that's what you're seeing, guys. You're seeing a trauma bond. That's why women allow men to abuse them physically, emotionally, because maybe daddy was beating them. Maybe daddy was verbally abusing them as a child. So to them, it feels normal. That being said, guys, there's no excuse for domestic violence. There's no excuse for emotional abuse. There's no excuse for any verbal abuse to your partner. If you're being emotionally abused by somebody in your life, I recommend you end the relationship. You kick the person to the curb. Maybe not literally, you don't want to hurt anybody, but you get the person out of your life, because what it really is the person that's allowing herself to be abused. She has a low self-esteem, because she was verbally abused her whole life, emotionally, physically abused her whole life. And so she has a low self-esteem. And because she has a low self-esteem, she feels like, maybe I deserve this treatment. This feels normal to me, because dad used to say this to me for 20 years. He used to tell me to fuck off. He used to tell me, you wonder why I treat you like shit. So for the woman that's been abused, in childhood, growing up in the family, this feels normal to her. But I'm here to tell you guys, it's not normal. Emotional, verbal abuse, physical abuse is not normal. You get the person out of your life. Maybe you sit down at a coffee shop in public with your boyfriend, your husband, so it's not behind closed doors, and you tell them, listen, if you can't, if you can't treat me good, then I'm going to leave. I'm going to be gone. Obviously, leaving a relationship can be one of the most dangerous times. If you have a seriously violent person in your life, you may need to leave state. You may need to hop on a bus and leave state. I've seen this happen. I've seen people hop on buses and leave state. If you have to hop on a bus to keep yourself safe, then do it. because you don't deserve this physical abuse. You don't deserve this emotional abuse. It's ridiculous what you women go through, you men go through that are being abused, and you need to end it. End the abuse, end the emotional abuse, end the physical abuse, end the verbal abuse. You matter. You are a worthwhile person. You know, you are an awesome person, and you don't deserve to be abused. No one deserves to be physically or verbally abused. So anyway, guys, that's going to conclude today's video. So again, it just makes sense, right? It's that trauma bond. You know, daddy was always abusing me, and so now I accept it from this new person who I've made into a somewhat father figure, you know? So it's just normal to the person. If you like this video, guys, you can like the video. You can subscribe to my channel. You could share this with a fellow friend that maybe is getting verbally or physically abused, because the time is now. The time is now to end the relationship. If you're being physically or verbally abused, you don't deserve it. You're a worthwhile person. You don't deserve to be treated like this. The bottom line, ladies, the bottom line, men, is you're better off being alone. Like in this case, this woman is lonely. That's why she's putting up with this abuse, because she's lonely. She doesn't have a lot of friends, so she's very desperate for friendship. And so that's why she's cutting this person slack, because she's desperate for friends. I'm telling you, friends, you're better off being alone. You're better off being all by yourself than being emotionally abused, physically abused. If you got to stay by yourself, do it. If you got to hop on a bus, do it. Do whatever you have to do to protect yourself. You may need to get the police involved. You may need to put a restraining order on the person. You may need to buy a gun, because I tell women out there, not so much concerned about the men, because you guys are a lot bigger and stronger. But you women out there, if you're leaving a domestic violence relationship, which is the most dangerous time, statistically, men lash out at women during breakups. So to keep yourself safe, I recommend you get some pepper spray. That's number one. If someone physically attacks you, pepper spray them right in the eyes. You know, it's like a cross, but as long as you get it in their eyes, you're good. So pepper spray right off the bat, you're going to get pepper spray. If you plan on leaving your partner who's abusive, you're going to get some pepper spray. I also recommend to all you law-abiding women out there, you know, if you're a law-abiding citizen and you don't have any major mental health problems that make you like, you don't want someone that's in psychosis having a gun. But if you're not in psychosis and you're a law-abiding citizen, I recommend you get a gun. If you're leaving a domestic violence relationship, get a gun. Because if you're at your apartment and your ex-husband or your boyfriend wants to kick in your door and act up, then they can find out. I'm not going to give you advice on what to do with that gun, but they can find out. If they want to kick your door in, or if they want to attack you out on the street, they can find out. I recommend that you keep your gun away from children, so the children can't access your weapon. You could keep the bullets and the gun separate. Maybe you could keep the magazine in your pocket, the gun magazine in your pocket, and you could keep the gun in your purse. That way it's separate. It's separate. The bullets aren't with the gun if you have children. Whatever you have to do to keep the children away from the gun. But if you're a woman leaving a domestic violence relationship, my number one tip is get a pistol. Put it in your purse. The person wants to fuck around, they can find out. If they come at you with a deadly weapon, you can use deadly force on that person. If they kick in your door and they're breaking in your house, you can use deadly force. That's a home invasion. If they want to fuck around, they can find out. Until next time, like this video, subscribe. Love y'all. You matter. Don't accept any abuse, guys. See you later.